Hello, I'm Asa and this is my Shaddoll deck profile which I came third in at my locals recently. Let's get things started. To begin with, I run 3 Beast.
Did you not sort through your deck prior to?
No, 3 Shaddoll Beast because I used to run 2 but then it was one of those situations where I ran 3 to begin with and basically it was really cloggy, so I ran 2, but then I went back to 3 and 3 is pretty much the best number. Following that, I run triple dragon, because I know a lot of people run 2 dragons, but I personally prefer 3 because back row is a big thing in this format, so it is really good to take out that back row. And then going on to doubles, I run 2 hedgehog because Hedgehog is probably the worst one out of the 5 Shaddolls, but it searches out your Shaddoll Fusion and Shaddoll cards. Then following that, 2 Squamata because it's very good when you use Foolish Barrel to send to the graveyard, then use its effect to send Falco, then use Falco's effect later on to special summon it face down. And speaking of Falco, that's the last Shaddoll I run. 2 Falco because you only really need 2 at the end of the day. Shaddolls aside,
Yes!
moving on to the other monsters. Most people run 2 or 3 Mathematician, but I run 2 Armageddon Knight because he gets his effects off if he's summoned in any way, rather than Mathematician where he can only do it if he's normal summoned, and he's also a level 4, so he's really useful for rank 4 plays. Then I run 2 Effect Failure because Effect Negation is kick-ass. So it's very useful when you can sync with a level 4 Shaddoll, or Shaddoll Core to Leo, or Armageddon. Then I have a 2 Wire Burster and a 1 Copter Serpent because I know lots of people run 2 Copter Serpents, but then I just didn't like 2 because I don't run very many light type monsters. But then with this guy, with Armageddon Knight, he's really good for rank 4 plays. Indeed you do. Rainbow Creepo because it is very useful when your opponent attacks.
Why do you only run 1?
Because if I had 2 or more, then it kind of a bit cloggy.
With their outtake?
No, because you're all allowed to ask people questions.
Yeah.
You've seen all the...
Carry on, you're wasting time.
I'm so awkward with this. Anyway, Rainbow Creepo, basically it is really useful for construct material and basically stopping opponent's monster's attacks by cooking it to their monster. And finally you have the BLS because you have lights and darks, and it is really useful for the Shaddoll Mirror match, Burning Abyss, because in one of my matches earlier I went against Burning Abyss and he brought out BLS, and so I used my BLS to banish his BLS. Monsters aside, going on to the spells, I run the typical
2 Fusion?
Triple Fusion because it's a staple in Shaddoll, so it doesn't really need much explanation. Then for the other spells, I run 1 Mind Control, 1 Foolish Barrel, 1 Super Poly, 1 Alert, and 1 Soul Charge because these are pretty much the only other spells you need because this is really useful for stealing one of your opponent's Shaddoll's monsters and then using Shaddoll Fusion. And then with Foolish Barrel, use it to send Dragon to the graveyard or send Squamata and do Powerful combo. And then Super Poly because it's Super Poly and Soul Charge to get off your extra deck plays and spam your field with monsters and Alert for draw power. Finally, for the main deck, we have the traps. I run Ripple Sinister Shadow games because I originally did 2, but then 3 is pretty much the best number because of the amount of Shadolls you run in the deck. Then I run 2 Breakthrough Skill because, as I mentioned earlier, effect negation for the win. Then in terms of 1 Compulse, 1 Bottomless, 1 Soul Warnings, 1 Shaddoll Core, 1 Torrential, and 1 Vanities. Because I just got this today, but it has been so helpful. If I had another Vanities Emphasis, I'd probably take out Shaddoll Core, but I'll have to wait and see. And that's the main deck. Going on to the second deck. Yep.
We'll eventually remember you.
How far are we in?
What do you mean how
You know
far?
what they make?
Like in terms of minutes?
5.
Oh, wow, that's not bad. In terms of fusions, I run triple construct and 2 window because basically construct is more versatile than window, and window just, if you play window with balanced gestures, it's a wonderful combination. Then for the synchros, I play 1 Arcanite Magician, 1 Black Rose, 1 Amadeus, 1 Star Eater for your plays with Shaddoll Core and Falco, 1 Leo, which is pretty much, in my opinion, the best synchro of these lot, and 1 Bono. Then for the XEs, I only run 4 XEs, which I don't really use that much, apart from the 2 Pastels, because it sends stuff back to the extra deck, and then you run...
Mark, so you're going to start counting down time, because if not, it's going to die.
Wow. Anyway, 1 Cunning Gorgon, which I never really use, but it might be used in certain situations, and 1 Daggers for Emerald because he shuffles things back from your graveyard into your extra deck. And finally, we have the side deck, which is probably going to be the side deck I'm going to be using at regionals in 2 weeks' time. 1 Cyber Dragon because although I didn't use Kinetic Fortress Dragon today, I'm going to use it against the Quill matchup because the regionals is the day after new challenges release. So someone might have made calls by then. I also run 1 Cycle Reader because you want to banish light type monsters if you're up against light storm rulers or Satellanites. 2 Shadow Imprisonment Mirror because Shadow Imprisonment Mirror, it just literally stops light storms.
That's light.
I said light. Wait, did I say something? Anyway, light Imprisonment Mirror. You guys get the idea.
Thing is, I'm still
1 Soul Release, which is a very underrated card because you can just banish a bunch of light storm rulers.
Unless you go for blue ones.
Well, a bunch. Thank you very much. So,
Why are you running 1 emptiness?
You've activated my
are you really going to upload this to YouTube?
Yes. We're going to put these as outtakes.
Fair enough. Anyway, Soul Release. Basically, you can banish a lot of cards. If you're playing against light storm rulers, you can banish a bunch of light swans and graveyards to stop them from sending
I don't know
JP.
why I didn't use it.
2 Flying Sea for the Satal Knight matchup and anything else which can make XZs. 2 MFT for back row heavy decks. No one would have cross outs because it's really good with mirror.
Why didn't you use Ceasefire?
I'm not too personally keen on Ceasefire, but this is a spell so you can play it instantly with Ceasefire, you would have to set it. And it is good in the mirror match. Diffusion for the Shaddoll mirror match, because you can just diffuse a window if it's preventing you from special summoning a lot. And then for the other random cards which I'm probably just going to take out, Trapstun to stop like back row heavy decks, Trap Hole Nightmare just to stop monsters which special summon, or activate their effects when they're on the turn they're special summoned, and Imperial Iron Wall for the Dragon Wall matchup. Anyway, that was my very awkward Shaddoll deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Fuck off.